Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of AST SpaceMobile, ticker symbol ASTS. And so here I am recording this on Saturday, August 10th, after ASTS closed on Friday, August 9th, at a price of $21.21, being down about 5% on the day, but going up about 9 cents in the after hours. And so I wanted to follow up on the last videos that I'd made because I had suggested it was a good time to be taking profits. I was wrong, but I did see some data on August 9th that does suggest that ASTS could be continuing to move higher over the course of the next week. So I wanted to go over that. And, unlike prior videos, this one is going to focus more on data rather than charting, because I do think that it suggests that price will be going higher. Whereas here, looking at the weekly chart, I would think that, it is definitely overbought, as you can see in the RSI here. Like I said, on the weekly, RSI is currently at 90.37, so definitely overbought. But it is not at all-time highs, which were previously hit back in 2021. It looks like in the middle of February. The high was 25.37. So I think it's quite possible we do retest that level, but I also think it is possible that the top could be in and we could be seeing a retracement. So good to be very cautious with this. I really just wanted to share the data that I found because I think it's really interesting, but I think at this point it is also very risky. And so one of the things that I do tend to go over on the channel is looking at max pain. And so yesterday for August 9th, I don't have it up on the website, but I do have this screenshot from yesterday showing the max pain August 9th, as you can see up there. I can't get my cursor over it because it's an image, a screenshot, but we can see that the max pain was 19 for yesterday, whereas we closed $2, over $2 above that maximum pain. So it could be suggesting that, there could be some continuation to the upside. And then if we do flip over to the max pain for this coming Friday, August 16th, we can see that it is at a price of 16. So that does suggest there could be some downside, but if price continues to go higher, that would be suggesting a gamma ramp or gamma squeeze could be in the process, and we could be seeing it going much, much higher, perhaps surpassing the prior all-time highs. But, for this, I'm going to first switch back over to the chart, and I'm going to switch this to the daily time frame because the big thing coming up this week is that earnings are going to be reported on Wednesday, August 14th, and so that could be a catalyst for the stock price to continue higher, potentially getting above 25.37. But the price that really stands out to me is actually $24 a share, as we did hit a high on the 9th of 23.04. Not at 24 just yet, and that does represent some upside still. But the reason why 24 stands out is because of an unusual whale that made quite a large purchase on Friday. So I'm just going to flip over here to unusual whales. This is my bookmark list, and ASTS is at the top of it, largely because it's alphabetical, but also because this was an alert that came out on Friday the 9th. And so I just want to go over the contract and the details that suggest it's bullish. And this is not to suggest that this contract is a good buy, just that it is data suggesting that the stock price could be going higher. And so do with it what you will. I just find it really interesting as I'm learning how to use unusual whales. And so here we can see the contract is for ASTS with a strike price of $24 a share, as I had just mentioned. That does stand out, and that is for the expiration of this coming Friday, August 16th. Other things that stand out, I'm just going to be taking you through every single thing that really stands out as being important. So open interest prior to Friday, that's the OI here, was 567. That will be updated come Monday. But for now, we can see that the open interest was only 567. But if you notice, the volume total traded on Friday was over 8,415 contracts traded, which is way higher than the prior open interest. And so that does suggest that there could be a lot of either bullish or bearish activity or sentiment around the stock, could be going to the upside or the downside. And I'll break it down why this suggests that it is bullish. And so we can see here that over the course of the day, the premium traded for the day, the total premium represents almost $900,000. And so that's buys, that's sells, goes both ways. So you have to take that number with a little bit of a grain of salt, but it is when we get to looking at this order, this green candle, that it starts to get a little bit interesting. And we can see here that this was an alert sent out by Unusual Whales because the volume exceeded open interest. And so the ask volume, and so ask is the buy order side, was 7,182 orders, whereas the bid side was over 1,000. And the bid side, that represents the sell side. So people selling calls suggests that they think the top is in and that it might be going down. But the ask side, given that it's 7 times larger than the bid side, representing a majority of the volume traded on the 9th, that suggests that this is bullish, that a lot of people or one person or institution was placing a bet on ASTS going up by August 16th. So this coming up Friday after their earnings report is released on the 14th. And so if I look at that candle, we can see some details about that order. It does look like the candle volume was 6,289. So that is not all of the ask side volume for the day, but it does represent a majority of it. We can also see that the candle premium there is over $600,000. So that means that this order represents someone, an institution, whatever it is, betting over $600,000 that ASTS will be going up. And this order was placed between 11:15 and 11:20 a.m. Eastern Time on the 9th. And so from there, we can see the average fill for this contract at that time was 99 cents. You can see that with the yellow dot there, and that is represented by the yellow line on the graph. And so over the course of Friday, the average fill price was $1.06, so slightly larger than 99 cents. And we can see that from that average fill time in the morning at 11:15 to 11:20, the average fill was 99 cents, but we did close the day with the average fill being $1.11. So it's gone up by about 12 cents, which represents $12 per contract. And we can see that this order here, the candle volume, represents over 6,000 contracts, 6,289. And so if I flip over to the calculator, we can see that 6,289 is how much that order has gone up, but that is times 100 shares per contract. And so that represents an increase of $75,000 over the course of that day. So, the value of these contracts has gone up. So it is a little bit more risky now because the value of them has gone up, although, the stock price has also gone up. And so flipping back over to the chart, if we do look at the hour time frame so we can see some of that price action volatility, we can see here looking at the 30-minute time frame, we can see that that order was filled right around here between these two candles as the price was dropping down. Then it has since bounced. And so it's definitely possible that we could be seeing price going up higher. And now looking at the after hours pricing from Thursday, we can see that the high was 24.61. And so I'm wondering if price is going to be going higher than that over the course of this week, perhaps leading up to earnings and then tanking after, perhaps continuing to inch its way up before earnings and then launching after earnings. Or, maybe it gaps down over the weekend and the person or institute who placed this order loses a lot of money. That's also possible. But it's also possible that it gaps up over the weekend. Those contracts are closed on Monday, and that gap up move is the move, and then it just sells off over the course of the rest of the week. So it is pretty risky, especially with taking a step back on the weekly time frame. As I started this video, it is definitely overextended, but there could still be some more room to go, especially with that contract that I just went over. So, I hope that was helpful for you guys. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.